Let's see if anyone comes. Anybody there? Hey guys, thanks for joining me in this little impromptu session. I really need your feedback for this. If you saw yesterday's live stream, we had some weird audio stuff happening, and I got to the bottom of that, and I had some severe latency on the voice that had not been there in the past, which is making the voice very noticeably not synced with the video, and the guitar, which was going through a different set of processing, was synced to the video. So I'd play something, and then you'd hear the pick attack like it was. I timed it. Let's see what the time turned out to be. It was 180 milliseconds, almost exactly. So, slapback zone, really frustrating. So it turns out, for the sync stuff, the latency, which is different from lag, when I say something versus when you hear it, that's the transmission time. That's kind of depend on everyone's ISP. But as far as the things syncing between what I do and what you see, it turns out that Logic Pro X on the Mac, I use the same file, the same project for all these live streams. And I thought, well, I haven't changed anything. It turns out that over time it builds up all these weird temp files that essentially just make it take longer and longer to do the basic stuff. And the fix was to save it as a template and then create new file from that template and then overwrite the old file. And so every time once I get the template set perfectly, for in the future, every time I do a live stream, I'll just create a new project from that template, and it shouldn't have that buildup of garbage files that was slowing things down. The other thing that happened at the beginning of yesterday's stream that caused me all kinds of hell was that the system audio, I had done an update on this program, apparently between doing my last test and then going live. And the system audio had unmuted, which I didn't realize because I didn't expect that to change. So let's see if I'm correct. If I press this button, we should start to get the hell. Now you guys let me know if it's happening, because I'm not hearing your end of things as I sit here. But if I click this, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps forth in its petty pace from now until the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Life is but a passing shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is no more. Now, is that echoing like it was yesterday? Because I'm not getting any of the visual indication that I was getting yesterday. Yesterday, that system audio was just going full bar green. So I don't know. I mean, that was the cause yesterday. The system audio being routed back through is creating a loopback system. But it sure surprised the hell out of me. And now it's not doing it. So, fuck me. Well, sorry to subject you guys to some unwanted culture there. I thought it'd all be echoey and crazy and building up and be funny. I take a perverse humor and that kind of thing. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do was make sure that the pick attack is synced to what you actually see and what you actually hear. I will play this video back. In fact, I will be viewing this video after the fact in my editor so I can go frame at a time and see if I need to nudge anything. But I think it's pretty much there. So let me move this up to the mic. So how does that seem to be for you guys for syncing that kind of stuff? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be not distracting for future streams. That doesn't sound right like that. That's not the sound I would use for that, overdrive pedals into a deluxe reverb model. But so 100% in sync from your guys' ends. That sounds good enough to me. Now the real test, and this is the one that I'm kind of scared to do. Right now, the output of the HX Stomp is going into the computer via USB. And I'm having to hear the guitar with the headphones going to the headphone out of the HX Stomp, because I don't have a ton of inputs on my analog to digital interface. I've got a Motu M2. I've got 2 inputs, and I've got this mic, and that gives me one other input. So the HX via USB is just appearing as an input in Logic. So I'm going to turn off the USB and disconnect that cable so we don't get any weird looping things. And then I'm going to try running the mono out of the HX into this, and then turn on my monitoring in the room. And hopefully I'll be able to hear the guitar through the speakers and not have to have these for streams. And it won't start to echo and do crazy stuff into this mic, which is live. So give me a second. Mute that. Plug that in, set that to be audible. Let's get a level on that. Let's see. Press the monitor button. Watch out for squeals and stuff. How's that sound? Is the yeah, I've got hey Andy, yeah, I've got a spring reverb loaded in the modeler. It's loud. All right, so let me get to see. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm trying to find the right level. That looks pretty good on the meter compared to when I speak. When I speak, it's there. When I play, it's there. All right, now one of the things I've done for you guys, which you will appreciate if you don't realize it, is in the past when I've done this kind of thing, because the sensitivity of this mic, if I'm playing and I go, you hear that, which is kind of gross. A smidge louder would be good with the voice in terms of turning the guitar up. Well, we'll get to that because other people are saying it's good. But I've set it so that when I'm playing, it's going to... actually, I need to set that. Oh, just one second. I forgot. Let's see. Oh, it went away. I'll have to recreate it. God dang it. I had what I thought was very clever. I had a compressor with a side chain to duck this down about 12 dB whenever I was playing. I will recreate that for the next one now that I know that the other stuff is working. Now here's the question. Well, yeah, it's gonna be louder when I turn on a gain pedal. That's how drive pedals are supposed to work. It should be a little bit louder than the clean typically. But here's the real question. If I play, are you hearing an echo of it or any weirdness with this on? I'm going to play the same thing with this mic on and with this mic off, and you let me know what you hear. So just real basic stuff. Was there any appreciable difference there? I would love to be able to do this without headphones and not have that be a weird echoey thing through the mic. And of course, once I get the side chain recreated, a little bit brighter second passage. No echo though. I know that if I turn the monitor up, you'll start to hear it. All right, so there's a difference, but it's not annoying. That's good. I'll be listening to this back, and you're saying you're getting some clipping on the first strum. All right, yeah, it's getting a little bit loud. Let me turn that down. Now, I've got the amp set right on the edge of breakup for a digital deluxe reverb, which is a sound I personally like. But if I wanted it to be cleaner, I can go to this. Which is the twin model, which I find too crystalline. So I'm gonna go back to the other one. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Yay. Sounds like the third string is flickering. Very slightly flat. So is the D though. Well, D flat. It's very clippy. Can you expand? What do you mean by clippy? Are you guys hearing distortion? Because I'm not getting any digital clipping here. That is peaking at -3 on the real hard ones, and then I've got the limiter set that this thing cannot go to past -1. Play the Jimmy thing again. not the sound I would dial in for that really on the lead stuff, but those are the stuff I had there. I have an embarrassment of options, but those are the ones that I have set and forget. So I look forward to hearing this back. I would just really like to be able to have this be a set and forget thing for all the streams, you know. And the next time Hal comes over, say, "Here you go, just play," and Hal doesn't have to think about digital stuff. Like, here's a guitar, you're gonna hear it through the monitors. It'll sound like you're listening to a deluxe on TV volume. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm listening on the HS7s, and you know, I always like playing louder like that. And I can hear some grit there that's not there here. But I need to balance things out. Keep in mind when you're manipulating the guitar, you're pretty backed off the mic. If I need to bring the mic closer while playing, I can do that. I'm just trying to find the right balance for things. Not that this live streams are going to turn into mini concerts. Most of you guys play better than I do. It's just so much nicer being able to do this kind of thing without all the issues of having a very loud amp over there that bleeds into this, and if I'm playing through the amp, this clips. So yeah, I'm gonna set up the side chain ducking again, just so that when I'm playing, you don't hear all the gross sounds that compression can make on a microphone. And the other one I've got dialed up is a Princeton Reverb, and it's much more MIDI. Which is nice. But I found so far, I'm still playing around with cabs and mics and stuff, you know, the virtual stuff. The Deluxe seems to be closest, and the silver panel bassman that they've got in there, their AB165 normal channel is also worth looking into. I found a lot of things which are useful, but I thought I'd start with just saying, how close can I get this to sound to an actual example of a certain model? So starting with the Deluxe, the Princeton, and the Twin makes sense to me. Yeah, the EJ Strat, I love it. Anathema to a lot of EJ guys. Put in the Callahan bridge because the stock bridge that they rave about on all the marketing materials was not very good, and had too many witness points, and the pickups that were in it are long gone. These are some Kinman traditional Mark II noiseless, and I love them, and they sound just like the original pickups, only without the bzzz. So the spring reverb in here is odd. It's too dynamic in that when I play softly, it's barely there, but if I whack the strings, it really jumps out. And also, if I play really hard, it sounds more like individual delays than it does spring reverb. I'm going to try maybe running another reverb that into another reverb in a parallel chain, see if I can, not all the time, but just if I really want that sound, see if I can really get that sound by tricking the software. The Hot Springs sounds like garbage. The 63 Springs is not that great. Just the old spring that's, carryover from the old, what was the reverb version of the DL4? A very old algorithm, but it works better than the fancier, newer ones. It's a shame. The dynamic plate and dynamic hall on this thing are fantastic, but I've noticed that most people, at least online, who use HX Stomp or Helixes, have way too many effects on to ever be heard in a band context. If you have a jillion seconds of delay ringing out, you just turn into a mush. And that's the other extreme there. Is a solid body EJ neck the same shape as the hollow body? I don't know. I've not played the hollow body. I love. This is a 2014 or 15 or 2004 or 5 Edge of Eternity. This is the first year. This is the first one that came into Memphis, pretty much. I love the 12-inch radius. I love the fret size. I wish it were a little bit thicker, but that's, minor. Let me dial up some of the... This will just take a second. If I had the editor hooked up, I could do even faster, but give me just a second. One more. This is what you hear on so many HX and Helix channels. Or sorry, I'm having fun with this. Here's the thing. Let's do that. And then you turn on your always on pedal. And hey, welcome to my guitar channel. Here's my clean. And then I just add everything on top of that, dude. It's discouraging, to say the least. But on stage, you will always be able to hear this. And again, that's not a Marshall sound, but, Need tone X. I'm going to see how good I can get the models first in this HX. 90% of the time, I will only be using the modeling for streams like this. So if it's close enough, if I can get a passable sound, that's great. The rest of the time, it's just going to be used for effects with actual amps. Just say, all right, let's hear this amp with the plate reverb, because I love plate reverb. Watch fan, no, I have not made a modeling amp. I mean, I'm doing a setup for live stream using the HX Stomp, and just trying to get all the sync solved and the levels matched, and trying to wean people off of their effects addictions. I can't even talk. That That would sound good with a real nice basic delay. Let me do that real fast because I've gotten better at this. Let's see. All the default mix levels are so high. Crazy high. I don't have any amps for sale right now. Gregorio Pequeño, sorry. I hope to get some more built, but it's just so much stuff going on. So a little bit of delay is nice, but it's also nice to be able to practice without that kind of stuff. Thanks, Farrington Caster. Appreciate that. Yeah, DC on the board's not fun, man. We're not going to be doing a whole bunch of amp questions today. That was the 3 hours yesterday. This was just aimed at this to get this stuff good for future streams, even if I don't do this but for 5 minutes in the average stream. Matt Fields, this is an important thing. Daniel C., you're going to love the Germino. Matt Fields has an important thing here. I'm noticing that the HX Stomp doesn't have that digital pedal noise. I love some Strymon and Source audio pedals, but the more you use on a board, the noisier they get. I will say that the HX is about the same noise level as my Gen 1 Flint, but the difference is, in order to get all the sounds I could get with the HX, I've got to have the Flint, I've got to have, say, El Cap, I've got to have the Mobius, whatever, the modulation thing. And so each time you do that, that same noise floor adds up, and you can really get noisy when you have a bunch of those. That's why I looked at this. It has a noise floor that I wish it did not have, but it's usable. And you don't hear it in this context unless you were to play this back really loud through headphones. Into an amp, I can hear it, but most people don't know that their pedal is noisy because their amp is so noisy. It's only when you have an amp that's quiet and a guitar that's quiet that you can hear what a pedal's doing, and it all adds up. So I'm pretty pleased with this. Was that a Tom Cochran chord you heard? Might have been, Todd. It wasn't intentionally a Tom Cochran chord. It was, I don't know what chord it was that I played, but I'm sure Tom has the same chords that the rest of us have. I don't think I ever used any truly unusual chords on the channel. I wish. Was it when I was doing the major 7 stuff? That's unusual in a lot of pop stuff, but it's... sounds great. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. I want to look at and listen to this back and make sure I'm happy with it. And I'm going to save this and open it up in my video editor, and I can go frame by frame and really check the sync and see if I need to nudge it. Crisp and clear, rich and sharp video. It's the rich Corinthian leather. See you guys. Thanks as always.